So what is All Wheels Wrestling?
All Wheels Wrestling is a good fit for racing fans or motorsports fans because it's going to give them the opportunity to see something that they love.
For the first time ever.
No, I think they'll love it because it gives you something to look forward to every week. Every match counts towards something.
4 teams.
I think the team thing is cool.
12 men.
It's definitely aggressive.
When that gate drops, you gotta go. You know, it's just like the bell. When you hear that thing go, you gotta be ready to bring it.
One season will determine the All Wheels Wrestling Championship.
All that hard work eventually does, pay off.
Which team's gonna take home the cup?
You gotta win matches. At the end of the day, it's just like NASCAR racing.
It's a full-throttle adrenaline rush that combines the world of racing and wrestling.
It's grueling.
Competition.
Well, the thing that I really respect about the guys that do this is they're athletes.
Teamwork.
Be a good teammate. You got to work together. You can't work against each other, and that's what makes good teammates. They're hard to find.
And action like you've never seen before.
Guys, when the bell is ringing, it's time for you to go, just like the green flag waving, you better be ready to roll.
What'll happen when the rubber meets the ring?
I just think that there's great hooks for people to come in and be involved, that whether it's a wrestling fan that doesn't know motorsports or a motorsports fan that doesn't know wrestling, they'll have a great time seeing each of the sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, All Wheels Wrestling starts right now.
We are coming in from the Red Line Arena in Orlando, Florida. This is All Wheels Wrestling, where tonight it all kicks off with the Captain's Showcase.
And let's meet the respective captains of Team Octane, Team Defiance, Team 720, and Team Dino.
I am RPM, the captain of Team Octane. Team Octane will win the AWW Championship Cup because if you can't catch us, then you can't win. It's no secret that our strategy is going to be lightning quick because speed kills. Because speed kills. Whether it's on a racetrack or in a wrestling ring, Team Octane is out to prove one thing, and that is speed kills. Team Octane, balls to the wall, high adrenaline, nothing but speed. Woo!
I think Team Defiance's strategy going into this is do whatever we have to do to win. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to trade Christmas cards and birthday cards with the people around here. I'm at work. I'm on the job.
I think that's one thing Team Defiance really has going for it, is that never surrender attitude. Always try to come out on top.
I want to make sure that Team Defiance is on top, and we're going to do whatever we have to do. We'll cut any corners. We'll do whatever we have to do to win. That's the bottom line. In the record books, in your paychecks, it doesn't say who gets points for good sportsmanship. You get a W or you get an L. And Team Defiance is going to get as many W's as possible to make sure we go home with the AWW Championship Cup.
I am Swag D, team captain of Team 720.
Can't wait to start watching All Wheels Wrestling. I know Team 720 is going to be a team to watch. They come from the extreme side of sports.
We live a high-impact lifestyle. We like to take big air challenges, not just in the ring, but outside of the ring. I think it's very obvious why Team 720 can get to the top and get to the AWW Cup is just the versatility that we bring to AWW. You know, professional wrestling is all about taking risks. Team 720 is all about high risk, and that's what it's going to take to get to the AWW Cup at the end of the season.
I'm awesome, Aaron Aguilera. I'm the Human Cyclone. I'm the leader of Team Dino. I'm the captain. And my inspiration comes from monster trucks. If you've been to a monster truck show, you've seen the path of destruction that they leave. And that's exactly what I want to do. You're going to see the damage that I cause, just like a monster truck does.
He's a little different, you know? He's a crowd pleaser, loves it. The fans love him.
Team Dino will win the AWW Championship Cup because we are the biggest, baddest team in the AWW.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the fastest hour in professional wrestling history, All Wheels Wrestling. And I'm JB Jeremy Borash along with Don West and Herbie Sadler. Tonight, it all kicks off. 4 teams compete for their shot at the All Wheels Wrestling Championship Cup, and tonight it starts with the Captain Series.
The Captain Showcase, folks, is so important because each captain from each team, Team Dino, Team Octane, Team 720, and Team Defiance are going to compete in a series of matches. The first 2 are going to be speed matches. Have your seatbelt buckled because if you blink, you're going to miss something. And then the main event, one of the most dangerous matches in professional professional wrestling. It's the Big Air Challenge, and all this to determine the rankings.
And I tell you, Don West, I love your energy because in any form of motorsports, motocross, open wheel, or my personal favorite, stock car racing, the way you qualify, get that momentum up front is very, very important. And let's not forget teamwork. A lot of these guys trying to be individual. You got to put your individual goals aside for the betterment of the team, JB. It's time to get this going.
We are starting off with 2 5-minute speed matches and then your main event, the Big Air Challenge. Let's take a very special look at this very dangerous matchup.
Really looking forward to seeing the Big Air Challenge. I mean, those guys, they're not just wrestling each other. They're 3 stories up in the air, and it's the same way with us.
You call it fear, I call it I would call it respect. You got to have a respect for whatever you're doing. You got to have a respect for driving a race car 200 miles an hour. It can hurt you. If you're a wrestler and you're going into the ring, you got to know there's a chance you can get hurt. And you got to have a love for the game, but you also got to have a great deal of respect for the fact that, hey, I could get knocked out of this thing.
Sure, I want to see what their, see how their Big Air Challenge compares to ours. I kind of feel like ours is a little safer, actually. We've got, $100,000 worth of suspension sitting under us that is ready to take our cushion for.
The moves, the things that they are willing to do to, win these matches, I mean, they put a lot on the line. I mean, they really hang it out. We hang it out inside the truck, which, again, I said, it's dangerous. But the wrestlers are going in this straight up, man-to-man. It's pretty gnarly. I mean, throwing down. There's a lot of risk-taking happening when you talk about wrestling.
The green flag drops on our first speed match right after this as Dubai battles RPM. And later tonight in our second speed match, the Human Cyclone takes on Schwag D.
I'm Barry Nobles, and you're watching All Wheels Wrestling.
I'm Cameron Steele, and you're watching All Wheels Wrestling.
Coming to you from the Red Line Arena in Orlando, Florida. The blood is pumping as we are about to begin our inaugural speed match here on All Wheels Wrestling.
The fan that goes to wrestling, I mean, they're really into what's in front of them. And I think it builds a different kind of fan where there's just lots of excitement there.
You put it all on the line when it comes to qualifying, and definitely you got to get pumped up, you got to get ready to go, and you got to do it fast.
A long, grueling season, physically, mentally, emotionally, is draining, and it takes a lot of courage.
They're guys that can win anywhere, anytime. And obviously they're talented enough and good enough that they can adjust their styles to maximize their potential, their talent that day.
If I were to look back and say, do I have one wrestler that stands out? No, but I think the respect that I have for them getting into the ring and going to war, that's what we do. We put on our helmets and we go to battle against the other drivers.
Every athlete has something different that motivates them. Sometimes it's just the trophy. Sometimes it's the accolades of the crowd, the cheers of the crowd. But you gotta have something. You gotta have something. If you go in that ring flat, you're gonna leave flat on your back.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a speed match scheduled for 5 minutes. Introducing first, weighing 225 pounds, the captain of Team Defiance, Dubai!
Out of the gate first comes a man, a native of the Middle East, inspired by off-road racing, street racing, and drifting. He has made it known. Victory at any cost. He is the captain of Team Defiance. He is Dubai.
Well, you heard it right from his mouth, JB. It doesn't matter what it takes. This guy will stoop to anything. It's not about being fair. It's not about necessarily even being honest. It's about getting the job done. He's somebody that you're going to have to keep your eye on at all times. If his opponent at any point in time doesn't respect that, they're going to find themselves on the losing end.
His opponent weighing in 210 pounds, the captain of Team Octane,
nothing but speed. He is the captain of Team Octane. He's RPM, inspired by stock car, open wheel, and drag racing.
Well, in any competition, there's no substitute for speed. The most important tool any man can have, and this guy's got all of it.
Let's take a look at the points as they break down. 5 points if you win the match by tap out. 4 if you score a pinfall. 3 points if this match goes to a time limit draw. -2 points if you face a disqualification. And 1 point if you win via countout. 5-minute speed match. This begins our inaugural bout on All Wheels Wrestling.
Two contrasting styles here, JB. We talked about it before. RPM, of course, built on speed, and Dubai, a win-at-all-cost mentality that he brings to him. But you're going to see a lot of similarities with these two as well. I think that you look at their body styles, their athleticism, it's going to be a match that's going to be determined by who gets advantage of a break, who can take advantage of it, and who can score early and often.
And scoring early and often is the key to victory in this speed match. Here comes RPM. Slingshot. Here's a cover.
1, 2. Oh, my God, he's got it. RPM of Team Octane takes an early lead. Talk about speed. 4 points to start this match, JB.
And RPM gets an early lead with Dubai now having a 10-second recovery time. Let's take a look at how he got it. It's the slingshot. It was enough to put away Dubai and earn 4 points for Team Octane. And RPM in control. There's a handshake bringing him up now.
Whoa, look at there. Dubai took advantage of RPM looking away. You know, that's exactly what he talked about. Win at all costs. As soon as RPM turned his head, Dubai saw an opportunity.
And Darrell Waltrip said it earlier, it's all about having a strategy going in, and Dubai has shown already taking it to the floor. Now this is interesting, a 1-point count out. If he's able to get back into the ring before the count of 10 and leave RPM on the floor.
Well, RPM just took a shot into those steel steps. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it up in time. Great opportunity here for Dubai to get himself on the board. But look at RPM showing the guts to get back in there, although he's getting stomped right now by Dubai.
So much fight, and certainly as you talk about his motto, RPM, speed kills, and no doubt he delivers it in the ring, but Dubai just delivering a big elbow, stops RPM in his tracks. And a DDT.
Oh, the WM DDT, there it is. And he ties this match up 4-4, and you can tell that RPM, JB, just hadn't got his breath back. That shot into the steps, I think a little too much when he rammed him into the ring apron, and Dubai took full advantage of the situation.
4 points on the board for Dubai with that WM DDT, able to score the pinfall. And as this 10-second rest period expires, Dubai going right back in for the kill, showing no mercy once again.
Well, not even allowing RPM of Team Octane to catch his breath in any way, shape, or form. And I respect Dubai for this. He's basically said that's what he's going to do. So it's up to RPM to realize that inside the ring. And I'll tell you what this shows you, JB. As we see 2, almost 3, this shows you how quickly momentum can change and how fast someone can take over a match.
Fans on the Facebook page for All Wheels Wrestling have made their voices known, picking Dubai and RPM, these two, as the early favorites to take the cup.
Well, the other 2 are wild cards, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Swag D, all about being a risk taker, and of course, the human cyclone about power. And some people don't feel that those are enough to sustain them through this, but as we look at RPM getting that kick to the side of the head, just what he needed. This is what he needed as both of them are down. But RPM has got to find something to get him on equal footing with Dubai.
It's 4-4 as we continue this 5-minute opening matchup in All Wheels Wrestling. It is Dubai heading up Team Defiance, taking on RPM from Team Octane, and these two back and forth with a right and a left by RPM.
And those chops, you can just feel every one of them. As you can feel them vibrating, the sound, even over the roar of the crowd. And man, RPM has got that speed moving as he's coming in 1, 2, oh, not enough.
And the rabid crowd on hand here in the Red Line Arena, solidly behind RPM as he tries to go for victory in this opening 5-minute speed match of All Wheels Wrestling. Dubai now setting RPM up in the corner as we approach the 1-minute mark. 1 minute remaining in this opening 5-minute speed match as Dubai has RPM up on the top rope, high risk. maneuver about to come from Dubai.
Well, this is a great chance right here for RPM to take advantage of the high ground, but you can see Dubai got a hold of him, holding on, trying to find some solid footing, but RPM puts his head there against the ring apron. Look at this! RPM breaks him down! 1, 2, no! Oh, wait!
28 seconds remain, now going for the submission. If he's able to make Dubai tap, that will mean a decisive 5-point lead in this 5-minute speed round matchup. Will he be able to hang on? 15 seconds remain.
You can see Dubai going for the ropes, but look at this! RPM pulls him back to the center, and it's too much! Dubai taps out, Dubai couldn't handle the pain, and RPM takes a 9-4 lead and the victory!
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, amassing 9 points, is RPM!
And it was the closing moments of the bout that was the difference. 5-point submission tap out to get the victory for RPM. Let's take a look at how he did it. First off, it was the slingshot for the cover, the 3, and the 4 points. Then, courtesy of the WMDDT, Dubai gets on the board. 4 points in this 5-minute speed match. Then, a sunset powerbomb. Was it enough? No, he was able to kick out, but it was the submission in the end, earning 5 points and the victory for RPM.
Via the tap out, he takes a 5-point lead, and you can see how fired up RPM is. One of the team favorites, one of the people that everybody's looking to walk away with that AWW Championship Cup. RPM starts it off.
Fast-paced wrestling, emphasis on wrestling and competition will determine the first All Wheels Wrestling Championship Cup winner, and there you see it. That cup is at stake as 4 teams will compete, 3 different competitors on each team, and tonight we are seeing the captain showcase with all 4 captains competing tonight.
It's all about the points. It's all about the competition. 5 points for a tap out, 4 points for a pinfall. If there's a draw in a speed match, each man gets 3 points. If you're disqualified in any way, they deduct 2. And if there's a count out, 1 point. Still to come, it'll be Swag D against the Human Cyclone in the second speed match. And then, folks, it's the main event. The most dangerous match in professional wrestling. It's the Big Air Challenge.
I'm Casey Mears, and you're watching All Wheels Wrestling.
If you're a Supercross fan, you'll love All Wheels Wrestling.
Welcome back to the Red Line Arena. You can follow us on Twitter, All Wheels Wrestling. It's at AWW Commish, and on Facebook at facebook.com/allwheelswrestling.
We've heard so many great comments from the stars of all forms of racing. Let's hear what a few more of these superstars have to say about All Wheels Wrestling.
I think the comparison between Supercross and All Wheels Wrestling is we both have a point system.
All Wheels Wrestling is going to have a point system, which is very similar to what we do in off-road racing.
What does it take to win the All Wheels Wrestling Championship Cup?
It's all about confidence. It's all about the people that are around you, the team that surrounds you. If you're doing good each and every week and you're in that title contention and you're in the hunt, it makes things go a lot smoother.
Stay consistent all the way throughout the year to win that championship.
Because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, how much is someone going to risk to win a match?
Strategy.
These days, it's hard to pace yourself because the competition is so steep.
Not always about winning, sometimes it's about, picking and choosing your battles.
When you're racing and you're working towards a point structure, which we're working towards, you got to think about the long-term aspects of what you're doing when it comes to points competition.
Teamwork.
It takes a special individual to be a teammate.
And a little bit of luck.
Never out of the game until they throw the checkered flag. And I think in this thing, you're never going to be out of the game until it's over.
Each week, we drop the green flag with 2 speed matches. The goal? Earn as many points as possible in 5 minutes.
They're speed competitions that it comes down to as fast as they can be and get it done as soon as possible.
Then, it's the main event. Who's going to take home the coveted 20 points?
You got to want it more than anything else.
Every minute of every match counts.
You got to run. You got to be hard all the time.
Determination, strategy, and teamwork. Well, all 4 of our team captains will be in it for themselves in the most dangerous match in professional wrestling.
My first suggestion for a wrestler going into the Big Air Challenge is don't do it.
You have to go win those matches. But if you go out there and go all out, get yourself hurt, you've took yourself out of the game.
I think you got to go all out, but you got to be smart about the decisions that you make.
Any risk has to be calculated. You can't just wing it.
You get a little sideways or come up short, you can end up pretty injured, especially those guys landing on each other or landing the wrong way. You can just really mess yourself up.
For me, inside the race car, we don't wing it. We think it through. We want to be fast, but we also have to be smart.
Up next on All Wheels Wrestling, the Human Cyclone battles Swag D in our second speed match of the night. And who will pick up the 20 points in tonight's Big Air Challenge? It's never over until the checkered flag drops.
Hi, I'm Darryl Waltrip, and you're watching All Wheels Wrestling.
You are watching All Wheels Wrestling. Let's take a look at our leaderboard. It's Team Octane with an early lead with 9 points. Team Defiance with 4 points. Team Dino and Team 720 about to lock horns in our next speed match. Up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a speed match scheduled for 5 minutes. Introducing first, weighing 260 pounds, the captain of Team Dino, the Human Cyclone, Awesome Aaron Aguilera.
At 260 pounds, this matchup is going to be about size versus speed, power versus quickness. And there's your size, there's your power. It's the Human Cyclone, Awesome Aguilera.
You know, this is one of those wild cards, JB, that I can't decide on whether it's an advantage to be this big compared to the competition at this stage or not. I mean, this matchup is going to show us so much about the Human Cyclone, Aaron Aguilera, and can he go toe-to-toe with the speed of Swag D?
His opponent weighing 185 pounds, the captain of Team 720, Swag D!
Living life on the edge with a quickness, with a speed that's unmatched in All Wheels Wrestling, inspired by BMX, by wakeboarding, by skateboarding. He's Swag D. He's the captain of Team 720.
This guy's a real risk taker. I mean, this guy doesn't even look at the world the same way normal people do. He looks at it as angles and opportunities. I mean, nothing he thinks is impossible. He will find ways to walk these ropes and do things that will defy gravity. But one thing about Swag D is, can he keep out of the clutches of Awesome Aaron Aguilera? The Human Cyclone has that size advantage, and he's going to try to use it every chance he gets.
5 minutes on the clock, kick off this speed match in our second bout. All Wheels Wrestling, obviously Awesome Aaron Aguilera with the size advantage. But look out for the quickness of Team 720, Swag D.
This is not about ego. Swag D can't try to take on Aaron Aguilera at his own game. He's got to use all of his skills like that. Come off those ropes, drop those kicks, and try to keep the Human Cyclone off balance. That's what, and never stop. Look at that. Goes right back at him. And Swag D already playing to the crowd and going to try to use that to keep his momentum.
And look out for the high-risk offense of Swag D as he delivers a moonsault to the floor on Awesome Aaron Aguilera. What a move. That's that high-risk offense that we've seen from Swag D.
Right there in front of the pit box of Team Octane. And Swag D not intimidated by the size whatsoever. He's taking advantage of it, going at it, but the bottom line is you gotta get points. All this fancy stuff doesn't count for anything if you can't score.
Just past the 1 minute mark, nobody on the scoreboard yet, no point score, but Awesome Aaron Aguilera with a huge spinning backbreaker. Here's a cover. And Swag D able to power out at the count of 2, but certainly that's where the size, that's where the strength comes into play. Look at this backbreaker. As Swag D delivers the power, brings the pain. And certainly, now with this situation, Swag D needs to approach things just a little bit differently.
Well, I'll tell you, he came right back at him, but then that clothesline just absolutely crunched him. And that's one of those things that Swag D's got to do. He has got to pick his spots. He's got to hit him from the sides. You can't take the human cyclone on straight on, but he's never recovered from that backbreaker. You could tell it took the air out of him. You throw that clothesline in, and now we see power and strength come into play.
And a very unique submission maneuver as we approach 2 minutes, 3 minutes remaining in this speed matchup. And the points will be accumulated as they continue here in this speed matchup with 5 for a tap out, 4 for a pinfall. Nobody on the board yet. Aguilera in for the big splash, does not connect. Meanwhile, Swag D over the top. Whoa! With a leg drop to the floor. Unbelievable. High risk, high reward from the top.
Oh, he hesitated on the ropes. 1, 2, 3. As Awesome Aguilera scores first, and that was a mistake made by Swag D. He hesitated just for a second on those top ropes, and that allowed the human cyclone right here to get his knees in place.
And as Swag D gets a 10-second recovery period, he's going to need it after that devastating maneuver, and that split-second timing is everything in this matchup. Swag D now trying to lay in some offense, but is met with a big splash, and that's just the size. That's the strength.
Well, he's just moving slower and slower as it goes, just getting, another vicious backbreaker, and another 4 points. And now, this could be one of those things you've got to keep your eye on the score. If Aguilera keeps this up, he can keep running up points on Swag D, and if he scores over 20 in this match, then Swag D cannot come back in the Big Air Challenge.
He calls that maneuver the choke breaker, and here he comes again with a second one. Oh, goodness. That's another win. That is 12 points now. 12 unanswered points as Awesome Aaron Aguilera leads Team Dino into victory with this choke breaker, a second one to Swag D.
And he's got to just keep doing this. If I'm the human cyclone, I don't stop. I keep trying to put those shoulders to the mat time after time after time. And if you're Swag D, you're in a survival mode right now. And look at that skill. Nice kick. He drops him. Can he do anything? Here he goes. Oh, just not quite enough. Was that close?
And a super kick by Swag D that stops Awesome Aaron Aguilera in his tracks. He needs to capitalize. He's down by 12 points. He's not even on the board yet. And Swag D going to the top rope for a high-risk maneuver.
But he takes too long again on the ropes, and that allows the human cyclone. And now he does the cyclone sit-down powerbomb, and it's going to be good for another 4 points. And JB with 16, it's getting into dangerous territory for Swag D.
What dominance. You see the size with the cyclone sit-down powerbomb, spelling the end for Swag D now with that 10-second rest period. Hardly enough to get by after what he's been through.
The human cyclone here going for a quick tap out, using that submission hold, trying to get the 5 points, which would give him 21. Can Swag D hold on? Yes, he does.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this match, amassing 16 points for Team Dino, the human cyclone, Awesome Aaron Aguilera.
And what physical dominance. Team Dino showing in this speed matchup, earning an incredible 16 points. Let's take a look at how he did it. It was Aguilera blazing a path of destruction with a choke breaker. Then we saw the Cyclone sit-down powerbomb. And at the end of a 5-minute speed match, it was Team Dino with a decisive lead. 16 points on the leaderboard for All Wheels Wrestling's Team Dino.
Team Dino just sent a message to everybody else. I'm here, I'm powerful, deal with it. And now every other team is going to rethink their strategy. Here you see the leaderboard. Team Dino with the big lead. And Hermie Sadler right now, standing with the human cyclone, Awesome Aaron Aguilera.
16 points. My question to you, how does that affect how you approach the rest of this night, especially the Big Air Challenge?
How does that affect my approach? You see the scoreboard, right? It doesn't affect nothing. 16-0. Hey, in Monster Trucks, we got a saying, and that is, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. 16-0, I guarantee you those three guys are back there chasing their strategy and they're sweating bullets. I am agile, mobile, and hostile, and nobody will stop me.
The strategy going into this big air challenge for Team 720 is to really take big risks and take those big air challenges and take them to the extreme.
I never competed in a big air challenge. You know what? Those other guys, they may be smarter than me, they may be quicker than me, but one thing is they don't have my power, they don't have my strength, they don't have my size. And that right there, I think I had the advantage.
Speed is the key. Team Octane, balls to the wall, high adrenaline, nothing but speed. Woo!
Tonight, Dubai is gonna win the Big Air Challenge and walk out of AWW the top man.
Hi, I'm Elliott Sattler, and you're watching All Wheels Wrestling.
I'm Kyle Petty, and you're watching All Wheels Wrestling.
Let's hear now from the man who's leading Team Defiance into the Big Air Challenge. In third place, it's Dubai.
Tonight, I might have lost a speed match 9-4. That's just because I saved myself for the main event tonight. When I go forward in that Big Air Challenge, I'm going to score 20 points for Team Defiance. Dubai is going to bring 20 points to Team Defiance and bring us into victory lane. Tonight, I'm going to bring Team Defiance to the #1 pole position in AWW. And I'm going to do that by severing a limb in the wild so I can survive. I don't care if I tapped out in a speed match. I'm winning the main event, and I'm bringing Team Defiance to the All Wheels Wrestling Cup.
Wow, what a night, JB. I mean, everything we could have asked for and then some. The speed matches have been absolutely off the charts.
They have been fast, they have been furious, and certainly we have the Big Air Challenge yet to come for 20 points. But first, let's take a look at our first 2 5-minute speed matches. They were fast, they were incredible.
RPM took the early lead with the slingshot. Dubai came right back, and then to win by a 9-4 score, it was the tap out by Dubai.
Then our second 5-minute speed match, it was awesome. Aaron Aguilera showing so much dominance with the size, the power, the strength, leading his team into victory. Now, with the Big Air Challenge, 20 points is on the line up next.
You've heard about it all night. That AWW crest, 20 feet above for 20 points. Let's go to Swag D and hear about his strategy.
You know, when I'm not going to go out there, I'm not going to blow everything I got in one shot. You know, I got the rest of the season, and I got the rest of tonight to prove to my team why I am the team captain of Team 720. You know what? The Big Air Challenge is still coming up. The main event tonight is still coming up. And if I come out on top with that match, I'm going to shoot Team 720 right to the top. I'll give it to him. He's got some power. He's got some strength, but no way is he going to match my speed, and no way is he going to match Team 720's extremeness. My specialty is big air, so this match is designed for me. This match is designed for Team 720. I'm going to prove that right now.
20 points on the line in our main event. The Big Air Challenge is up next. All 4 team captains in the ring at once.
I'm Mike Skinner, and you're watching All Wheels Wrestling.
I'm Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and you're watching All Wheels Wrestling.
It's main event time. Gentlemen, start your engines. 20 points on the line in the Big Air Challenge. Your main event.
And it starts, as you can see, Awesome Aaron Aguilera trying to figure out what all 3 of these guys are doing as RPM, Swag D, and Dubai all immediately go for the crest.
Object being Scale yourself to the center of that ring. Shimmy that rope. Do whatever you can. Get to the center. Remove that crest. Earn the 20 points. But just like King Kong swatting airplanes out of the sky, awesome Aaron Aguilera takes off all three men who tried to scale the rope, trying to get that crest for the 20 points. Into the ropes now. Stepped down by Swag D. Goes low for the kick. And certainly as you look at the, there's just a big spinning cyclone kick.
Well, the human cyclone is taking advantage again using his power. He let the guys kind of dictate what they were going to do, and then he just pulled them down to start the momentum in his favor. And again, he's using that power to perfection. These other guys are going to have to find a way, maybe even to work together a little bit to topple that tree, because as you see the big boot hitting, right now, the human cyclone having his way with everybody. But he still has to scale those ropes. He still has to climb that tower, and he's going to bring down that crest.
And a drop kick by Dubai stops him in his tracks. The big question is, can a man of that size even climb the structure? RPM now throws Dubai to the ropes. Dubai over the top rope, takes out the human cyclone to the floor.
Great move there by Dubai as he takes the human cyclone down. I mean, think about everything that's going on right now. 20 points are what you get in this matchup. So whoever wins this, even if it's Swag D, you go into the #1 ranking. Your team starts off as #1, and believe me, that's the way you want to start the AWW series, and there it is. RPM scaling. Can Dubai get there in time?
What's going to happen here? Crash and burn scenario possible. There goes Dubai to the floor. Look out for Swag D. Drop kick. That takes out RPM.
He couldn't allow RPM to bring that crest down. There you see the replay. Nice spin there by Dubai. The kick there by RPM, and then Swag D making sure that Team Octane doesn't get the 20 points.
And Swag D, who has no points on the leaderboard thus far, sees an opportunity to get that crest, to score that 20 points, lead his team into victory. And certainly there's a clothesline. And once again, that strength, that size of the incredible, awesome Aaron Aguilera. Too much. Here comes a boot. RPM able to duck. Into the ropes goes RPM.
Well, he got stuck in the ropes. RPM saw it, took advantage of it, and drop-kicked him immediately to the floor. And now RPM looking up. But again, you got to remember, there are 4 guys in this matchup, and you can't take your eyes off one of them. As Swag D goes into the air, he gets caught, but RPM suicide dive right through the ropes.
What a car crash at ringside. We got to take a break. We're sending Hermie Sadler in to get word from one of the competitors. Welcome back to All Wheels Wrestling. This is the main event of the evening. 20 points on the line in the Big Air Challenge.
So much happened in the first part of this matchup. As you saw Dubai landing on top of the human cyclone. All the action that took place on the ropes, like this drop kick from Swag D, and then the suicide dive. Hermie Sadler able to talk to RPM during the break.
You got him in a bad spot. What are you going to plan to do to finish these guys off?
Hey, I've been in these situations before. I've been in this match before, matches like this, and I've come out on top. I'm just gonna keep killing them with speed, baby. I got this.
And we are back as Swag D, the captain of Team 720, and RPM, the captain of Team Octane, going at it. This is the main event. 20 points on the line in the Captain's Showcase.
Team Octane right here, led by RPM. Finally showing what he can do with that speed. Look at that drop kick as he puts it right into the face of Swag D. Now this is a chance. You can't hesitate here. You got to climb those ropes fast. Basically, you've got everybody out of the ring, and you got Swag D on the mat. Can he get there quick enough? Using his legs. They're tired at this point. They've used so much energy, and Swag D, that cat-like reflex is climbing up, catches up to RPM. Can he bring him down?
And RPM has that crest in his grasp, certainly so close. He's hanging now by one leg, hanging upside down. And there's Dubai, who catches Swag D and power bombs him into the corner. Oh no, look out. Here comes the Giant. Here comes awesome Aaron Aguilera with a choke breaker on Dubai. And that leaves RPM hanging hanging upside down from the truss, hanging upside down and at the mercy of awesome Aaron Aguilera, who just chops the chest of RPM.
This is a situation where RPM needs to find a way to get down to the mat and live to fight another day and work his way back up. He is in no man's land. And you can see the human cyclone bringing him up, using that strength, and going to send him right into the ring apron. And look at that. Wow! Showing unbelievable agility, coming off those ropes into a massive clothesline that puts RPM on the ground. Look at this again.
How do you see this from a big man the size of awesome Aaron Aguilera? So impressive, taking it to the skies and doing it again with a big clothesline. And certainly after seeing that, quite surprising the agility of that guy, and certainly as he continues to progress in this matchup, I'm wondering if he can scale those ropes, wondering if he can climb to the center. Here comes RPM with a handspring elbow to Dubai.
Unbelievable athletic skill set that RPM has. There's so many different things he can do. I mean, every one of these guys has their strengths. We talked about it. The win at all costs attitude of Dubai, the speed of RPM, the risk-taking of Swag D, and of course that awesome strength. But nobody seems to be able to get enough of an advantage to bring that crest down. Everybody just trying to find a spot to use to climb these ropes, and now Dubai doing what he wants to RPM.
And you heard it from Casey Mears, you heard it from Darrell Waltrip. It's all about strategy going into this matchup. You have to have a game plan. You have to know that game plan and be able to execute it. As we see awesome Aaron Aguilera now up on the ropes inside the ring as RPM on the outside. And look at this. A man this size is going to scale these ropes, go to the center. Are you kidding me? Look at the size of this man. And right behind him, Swag D.
Oh, Swag D wrapping those legs around, putting the extra weight on Aaron Aguilera. Is it enough? Yes, it was, as Aaron Aguilera couldn't hold it on. It had to feel like he had a polar bear on his back at this point in the matchup. And nice teamwork as the kicks come in succession.
We talk about that teamwork. Oh, no, tough spot here for Swag D. Tough spot. What's going to happen? Able to roll him up. Here comes the sunset flip, and now it looks as though Swag D and RPM working together. Yes! Super kick.
We talked about it earlier now. When this series gets going, they won't be teammates, but they knew they had to be. They had to, oh, nice move. Look at this. Unbelievable combination that RPM does on both Dubai and Swag D.
And we saw the look in his face. He knows what's at stake, and he knows the advantage he has after this incredible maneuver that takes out both Dubai and Swag D. It's his match to win. Climbing down that truss, needs to get to the center, grab that crest, and earn 20 points for Team Octane.
What these guys have put their bodies through is just unbelievable. I mean, it shows you what they're made of. And now RPM, so close. He's been there on 3 different occasions. Here he is, trying to figure out a way to wrap his legs. But here comes Swag D. He's so quick, so cat-like, and he's got himself up at the ropes as both of them again. Every time RPM gets up there, Swag D has some way to counter it, and here comes Dubai, JB.
And these incredible athletes battling each other while hanging upside down in the center of the ring with that crest just mere inches away from all 3. It could be any man's victory at this point. All they need to do is unhook that crest. That'll earn them the 20 points, but right now, all 3 men battling upside down and trying to get the advantage in this very unique matchup.
Try to do whatever they can to make the other opponents fall. If you can, oh, look at there. Dubai, RPM hit. Swag D has the advantage. Can he pull the crest down? You can see him try to maneuver his legs to get into position, and Swag D has done the impossible. He's taken the lead.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner amassing 20 points for Scene 720, Swag D!
And what a turnaround for Swag D, going from worst to first, earning 20 points in the Big Air Challenge, the main event tonight, as he leads Team 720 into the #1 spot, the #1 seed in All Wheels Wrestling.
As you see the action, it just tells you the danger that the Big Air Challenge brought. It shows you the importance. It's perseverance. It's the long race, not the short one. You've got to be able to come on top, and how important are the 20 points in the end? It's worth every bit of it. As Swag D, looking like he had no chance whatsoever, as you see him hanging up there, pulling that crest down, and now Team 720 are the #1 ranked team.
And let's take a look at the leaderboard with that big win. Team 720 going into the inaugural season of All Wheels Wrestling, ranked #1.
Every week you're going to see 2 incredible speed matches. Every week you're going to see a specialty match. It's worth 20 points. A match that will defy the laws of gravity. A match that will require perseverance, teamwork, and things the body shouldn't be able to do. It's the fastest hour in professional wrestling. All Wheels Wrestling.
This season on All Wheels Wrestling.
I mean, there's a lot of crossover fans in racing as well as wrestling. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be neat for all of us to watch how it all plays out.
You get in the ring or you get out there in that race car and you're out on the racetrack running 200 miles an hour. If you're worried about it, you should quit.
I think we're going to find out that the racing fans and the wrestling fans are a demographic that crosses over really well. They like to see great action, and there's always the novelty of seeing a car wreck.
I think what you get from racing with the excitement, the risk factor, is something that you're going to get in pro wrestling as well. So a lot of people that are racing fans are going to be pro wrestling fans and vice versa.
Well, the fact that we're doing a one season is totally inspired by the racing fan.
The race for the AWW Championship Cup is on.
Fans loving it, having more fans out there. I mean, that's what we need to have.
It's fast, hard-hitting, exciting, and I think the wrestling fans and the racing fans, they're going to love it.
The toll that this is going to take on our bodies, it's going to be impossible for us to run like a normal wrestling show would.
The season heats up when these team captains reveal their teammates.
It's winner take all. There's 2 guys in the ring. One of them walks out with a belt. The other one goes home.
I have a good crew of guys, but they all know who's in charge, and that's me. There's no doubt in any of our minds that we're going to end up on top of AWW.
Which team will crash and burn?
I think fear comes with brains and good sense, and if you have too many brains and too much good sense, you're not probably not going to be a very good wrestler or a good driver.
When you go to a race, there's nothing more exciting than seeing hard-hitting competition and a car wreck, and the same thing happens in professional wrestling.
And which team will be sucking suds with the hotties in the hot tub?
The guys that do well and win championships are the guys that adjust well to, different styles of tracks. For sure, these guys are going to be going through a lot of different types of matches. The guys that adapt to those different styles the best are going to be the ones that have a leg up for sure.
And who will hold the checker flag high above and raise the All Wheels Wrestling Championship Cup?
We can guarantee on every single episode of All Wheels Wrestling, you are going to see the best possible professional wrestling product that's going to be on television in that given week.
One season, one team fulfills the dream.
Pro wrestling and racing, it's pretty much a match made in heaven.
Who will it be?